What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today's video is about Modern Warfare 2, but we are going to be showcasing some World at War gameplay. Sadly, I ran out of all my Modern Warfare 2 clips, and I tried to hop on the OG Modern Warfare 2, but my god, it is an absolute sweat fest right now. So I decided to go ahead, pull up some old school classic World at War footage, just to show you guys for a little Call of Duty backdrop. Now, today we're going to be going ahead and talking about Modern Warfare 2 2022, because finally, after all of this time, the map count has finally been leaked. Now, I feel like this is going to be a little iffy here, but I'm going to try to cover both sides of the story, the positives and the negatives. Now, as you can see right here, pretty much everybody's going ahead and talking about it. There is going to be 11 total multiplayer maps and 5 total ground war maps. So altogether, there's going to be 16 maps across the board, but 6v6 is only going to have exclusively 11. Now, of course, for those who are curious about the names of these maps, I have that list as well, courtesy of the Ghost of Hope over on Twitter. Now, I know I'm going to go ahead and butcher pretty much this whole list, so, do pardon how I pronounce things, but you'll be able to see for yourself. For the 6v6 side, we have Bringberg Hotel, Museum, already had that, Ricardo, already had that, Tarak, Crown Raceway, which was actually the map that got removed. It was supposed to come in the beta, but I think Activision ran into some copyright stuff, so they had to take the map out, re-edit it, and it is coming back into the game, so Crown Raceway. Al Bagra Fortress, I probably butchered that. Zarqua Hydroelectric. Okay, we got that one out of the way. Santa Cena Border Crossing, Farm 18, Embassy, that sounds pretty badass, and El Asilo, I believe is how you pronounce it. And then for Ground War, you have Said, Sarif Bay, Santa Sena. I feel like I'm really butchering that. Someone go down in the comment section and tell me how you truly pronounce that word Sena. I know it has to be something, a twist to it that I'm just getting wrong. Zarqua Hydroelectric and Al Bagra Fortress. So it seems like they are mixing some of these maps, 6v6 into Ground War. I was really hoping that across the board in Ground War, there would just be nothing but unique experiences, because for anybody who doesn't know, Infinity Ward actually came out and said that instead of like how they did in Modern Warfare 2019, where they made Warzone and then took Warzone maps and, crammed them into Ground War, they actually made the Ground War maps from the ground up to work for Ground War and then transferred them into Warzone 2. And you can 110% tell just by simply playing Ground War in Modern Warfare 2 that they were made for Ground War, Modern Warfare 2019, and every single map I play, I can tell it was just made for Warzone and it was stripped right out, 110%. But in Modern Warfare 2, you can tell that the Ground War gameplay was made from the ground up for exactly that. So I really do appreciate that. But I am worried that, 6v6 is going to get messed around with a bit here, because we haven't seen, any of these Ground War maps are mixed with 6v6 yet. We only saw Museum, Ricardo, what was the other one? And Farm 18. That's literally it. So we don't know what these hybrid maps, I'm going to call them, are going to be like, but hopefully it's not going to be too bad. But the main talking point in the community right now is 11 maps enough content? We saw a similar number with Modern Warfare 2019 and a similar number with Black Ops Cold War, and both those games suffered because of that exact reason. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give, my input on it, obviously my personal opinion. Everybody has their own personal opinions, so make sure you go down in the comment section and share yours. But my personal opinion is, as long as the maps are good, I don't have an issue. Trust me, I like variety in gameplay, but 10 to 11, maybe even 12 base maps is a decent amount of variety. What really holds it back is when the maps are bad. If half of those maps are horrible, then now you only have 5 maps to play through that are actually playable. And then at that point, yes, I do completely agree that is ridiculous, and I think that is horrible, and it's not going to be enough content to keep anybody coming back. But when I played the Modern Warfare 2 beta, I actually missed a map too. I said there's only 3 maps. There was 4 maps. That hotel map was also in the mix. But every map that I played, Greenberg Hotel, Museum, Ricardo, and also Farm 18, I loved them all. And the map that everybody's most skeptical about, Museum, I actually really enjoyed. It was probably, I would say it's not the best out of the bunch that we had, but if that's considered the worst, then I'm not going to have any problem whatsoever when it comes to Modern Warfare 2. So what I'm hoping is that these maps represent pretty much everything that we get across the board, because these maps showed us the variety that these developers are capable of making. They're able to make a small, close-quarter map that doesn't feel too claustrophobic and allows Other players who want to have different playstyles on a small map to still be able to compete, they're able to make medium-sized maps with great flow, and they're also able to make large-sized maps with decent flow. Again, Museum, everybody hated it, but I had no problem. The outskirts were absolutely packed with cover. I mean, if you couldn't grab a head glitch on one of those, on one of those structures and absolutely beam kids as they try to kill you, I don't know what to say. The inside of the museum, it's literally all close quarter combat. You can run an MP5, you can run an MP7, you can run whatever type of SMG you love and just run the tight hallways of the building and you don't have to go outside whatsoever. And you can go from one point of the map all the way to the other. Even in Domination, you can go from one spawn flag all the way to the other strictly by staying inside. So in my opinion, I think the map variety was good in the base game. I'm just worried if the rest is going to follow up. Now, the reason that I have a little bit of faith is because the other games that I tested out were horrible in the beta. Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, Vanguard, the map selection, I would say Vanguard probably had the best map selection out of the three that I just mentioned. But when I played the beta from Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War, it was really rough. It took a lot out of me to be able to play these games, to grind these games, and the majority of that was due to the freaking horrifying map designs that they've been producing these past few years. I don't even understand how they're coming up with some of this crap. So, that worried me because when the maps were bad in the beta, guess what? The rest of the game came out and they were all the same. They were all identical to the base maps minus a few. Now, here we are with Modern Warfare 2. All the beta maps are good. So I'm assuming that since all the beta maps are good, the rest of them are going to follow suit. Now, I am a tad bit worried because this might be a mind game, Infinity Ward might be trying to play tricks on us. They might be trying to say, we have to finesse them into this game. We wanted to go with our vision, our, huge maps with no cover and horrible variety and plenty of safe spaces. We wanted that. So the only way we can finesse the hardcore community is giving them the maps they want up front and then releasing our style of maps later on, instead of obviously releasing their style in the beta and then branching off later on. I could totally see Infinity Ward trying to finesse the community in that way. It wouldn't shock me in any way, shape, or form because Infinity Ward, out of all the development teams, literally gives the least craps about the community. As much as it hurts to say that because I love Infinity Ward, my God, I've never in a million years seen a development team so stubborn in my whole life. I mean, even Battlefield 2042 and DICE, they had a dumpster fire of a game. And usually a development team would just, shrug it off and just ignore it because they don't want to deal with it. They sucked it up, took the L, and they're taking all the punches, all the beatings right now. Everybody's doing it besides Infinity. They just don't want to listen. Minimap, screw you. Footstep noise, pretty much screw you. Dead silence, screw you. It's like everything we say is pretty much screw you. So with that type of personality and that type of, ego, it stresses me that the future might be a little bad for the rest of these maps. And right now, Infinity Ward has no wiggle room. That's what I appreciated with Vanguard. They gave us, 16 base maps, which is good. And even if a lot of them might have been bad, it gave them wiggle room. Even if 3, 4, 5 are bad, we still have 10 plus maps that might be good. So having more content benefited them in that way. But Modern Warfare 2, they're taking a massive gamble right now with the whole community. Even though I believe Season 1 comes out a couple of weeks after launch, which is good because that means we'll have more content. But honestly, how much content are we realistically going to be getting? Probably maybe 1, if lucky, 2 6v6 maps. If we're really lucky, 2 6v6, that's super lucky, I feel like, at that point. So they have to nail the whole catalog. There's no wiggle room whatsoever for them to have any mistakes here of bringing us horrible products. I already heard the racing track map is a banger, and if the racing track map is just as good as the rest of the maps I've played, then, at least we already have 5 maps. But 5 isn't enough. We still have, 6 more maps to go, and I really hope that they are all good. I don't even think they can have 2 bad. It has to be a complete catalog of nothing but bangers. So it's going to be a very, a very tight launch here for these developers, but I'm really excited to see how they're going to handle this. And with the ground war, I know it's not everybody, every Call of Duty fan's favorite thing in the world, but for me personally, I am excited to see the rest of the maps. I loved the ground war maps I played in the beginning, and I hope the rest of them are just like the ones I played because they were all bangers, and I'm super duper duper excited to go ahead and get my hands on some more ground war action. Honestly, the whole experience, I haven't been this, I want to say excited, but this thrilled to play a COD game in a long time. I don't know why. I really don't, but it feels more traditional, The slide canceling has been dumbed down. It looks like B-hopping is being slowed down a bit. ADSing has actually been bumped up. It looks like old school classic COD, like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, where you can do 1 B-hop, you can drop shot and stuff like that, but, your ADS time was quick. You can engage fast. It's the perfect in-between of COD. and with the map designs I played, it flowed very nicely. So I really hope the rest of the game can flow just like that. And let's hope that Infinity Ward will actually listen to the community with our feedback when it comes to minimap changes and all the other stuff that would really benefit this game in the long run and make it a top tier COD. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.